I'm asking you.
As I explained before, it was
Let's play like I don't have 5,000 cases. Tell me, what did you explain before to me?
okay. I explained that I rented a car for a friend, and the friend didn't do right with the car. Now the car is missing. I don't know where it is. I've been trying to find it. So it's no point of me trying to get him to come to court to try to help me with this. So I'm willing to take my rap, take my probation, and get it out the way.
Judge, this has been reset several times for us to be able to find the car. The car hasn't been found.
What are y'all going to do with the quotes friend who's sticking it to him?
I actually went to the police station yesterday to talk to someone. I did talk to a sergeant. He did state that if I was able to come up with the information about the car, he would look the car up just to see if the guy, just to prove that the guy was the last person that had the car, possession of the car. So
As of now, our office doesn't have any additional cases regarding this call.
Are you going to pay back $24,282?
I just have to work and do what I have to do, sir.
Well, how much are you able to pay?
I don't have nothing right now, so
You don't have a dime you can pay him?
no.
Mhm. Must be nice to be able to not have to pay $24,000 and give a new car back, huh? And then scamper away on probation.
I mean, the point of being on probation is to pay me or get a job.
No, it's not. That's not the point, sir. No, no, that's one of the factors. Restitution. You don't even have a plan for restitution. You have nothing to give right now. I mean, this happens a lot up here where people come in, get probation, and then scamper away, and they never pay a dime to the people who are lost and the people who, I guess it's Avis, are out the money, and they never get the money. Right. What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm a shift leader at a restaurant.
Okay, and is that a salary or do you get an hourly wage? How much do you get an hour?
$11 an hour.
No, well, that's 22,000 over a year. So how much are you going to be able, have you thought about a payment plan of how you're going to pay this back, like per month, like a loan?
However it's going to go, I just have to go from there. But I don't have a plan until it's orchestrated. So once it's orchestrated, then I go from there. I just have to work.
Okay. You know, when you made the deal with Avis, they made the deal with you. They didn't give you permission to let that car go to anybody else. You know that, don't you? That's like fraud because you signed a contract saying you were going to take care of it and that it was not going to be uh, re-let to someone else. Well, you violated that contract because, and then the car is gone.
Why don't you pay the whatever was the rental fee per day? Pay that as restitution. Can you afford that? Whatever was the rental fee? That'd be an idea.
Now all I know is I can just do my best and work. I'm already in a situation behind somebody else. This I understand I signed my name, but this was the point of trying to help someone and it messed me up in the end. I'm sitting here admitting that I was wrong for signing my name and letting them use the car.
That's true. But
But
he's got some responsibility too.
he don't want to come in. That's
That's
not true.
I hope the district attorney's office is looking into that too, because that's kind of, he knows. Yeah, he's taken something from this man through Avis, and that's kind of like stealing, isn't it?
Yes, Judge, we can follow up on that.
That's theft. And there's no reason why that person shouldn't be looked into and him be held accountable as well.
If it was me that did something to the car, I would admit and take it, but I didn't do nothing to it but sign off on it.
No, but you loaned it to someone without the authority to do that. You were giving someone else's property, which you shouldn't have done. That's why you're in a mess. And he's in a mess too, because you were responsible and then he betrayed your trust. If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to this, guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily because you are guilty? That's a question. Yes or no? Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I'm guilty for signing. I'm not
Yeah, that's
guilty
yes or no.
It's a yes or no.
If
Yes,
it's,
yes.
yeah, guilty, but it doesn't mean it's either guilty or not guilty. Here, I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document, understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered?
No
Without
objection.
objection admitted. This states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. That has been read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses, and you are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, it states. So help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report is waived.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to follow this agreement and find you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It is freely and voluntarily made. There is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this state jail felony. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 2 years. That confinement will be suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 5 years. You must pay restitution to Avis and the complainant in this case in the amount of $24,282. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for the circumstances of this case. Also, as a condition of probation, you will fully work with the district attorney's office and law enforcement officials to take all efforts to get that vehicle back. And you will fully cooperate with the authorities in that regard. Do you understand? Kind of like that guy brought to justice and get in here as soon as possible. Everybody with the state if possible, please.
Yes.
See what you can do about that. All right, anything else? That is all. Please see the probation officer.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's issue.
Okay, I have a dismissal here in Jalen Brown, 25 CR 1215. That case is dismissed in lieu based upon a plea of guilty in another case today.
It's got Keller and Corning.
What are we doing? A Cornish, Corley Cornish? Corley?
I didn't see her this morning.
Corley Cornish is called 24 CR 1949. Dennis, there's no answer here in the courtroom. I asked the bailiff to call into the hall for Corley Cornish, please. And where's Trenton Keller?
He's here, right here.
Come on up, Mr. Keller. What's about? There's no response to the name called here in the courtroom and no response to the name called into the hall. Defendant was required to be here based upon the court's last setting order. And she has failed to appear and her bond is,
15,000.
okay. The bond is revoked. A warrant shall be issued for her arrest. It is doubled to $30,000. Plus she must have a GPS device. She must stay at home. She is allowed to leave home to and from in the most direct route possible to work, school, to get food, and to consult with her attorneys. Those are the orders of the court. Trenton Keller, is that you? In 26 CR 640, you are charged with this third degree felony of evading arrest or detention with a motor vehicle. What are we doing with that?
He's on this. I just want to put him on announcement so I can download Discovery.
Okay, we set for announcement, regular announcement time. Thank you.
All right, just maybe. Thank you.
Atari Milton.
The next one.
Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Don't wear clothing like that in this court. Would you wear that?
I read,
Would you wear
I didn't
that?
know about the church.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would you wear that at church? Now, we're not church, but it's a dignified place. And yeah, I don't want you to wear anything that's got flash on it or sends a message. It's dressed nicely as though you were in church here. And in 26 CR 648, you were charged with this third degree felony of assault on a public servant on or about February 21st of this year. That's a third degree felony, which carries with it no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison and a fine up to $10,000. However, this indictment goes on to allege that you have 2 convictions in 2016, felony convictions out of Galveston County, Texas. Then paragraph 4 goes on to allege that after those Galveston County convictions were final, you, who's Julianne? No, waiting there. I don't know what that is. After those were final, you committed the offense, a third degree felony of evading arrest or detention with a motor vehicle out of Harris County and were convicted of that. If found guilty, you were looking at no less than 25 years confinement to life imprisonment. The minimum in this case is 25 years imprisonment. The maximum is life. Do you understand the seriousness of this? What's your bond on this? Oh, go ahead. What are we doing with that?
This is initial appearance. We met this
Yeah.
morning. We need some time to go over discovery and review everything. We haven't had that yet. Like I said, this is our first appearance in court, so reset about 4 weeks onto the announcement docket.
Milton, correct?
Yes.
12,000 is the bond.
All right. You've got a copy of the probable cause already, don't you?
I don't know if I've had yet, but I'm sure it was coming up.
All right, this is again disturbing. Okay, so police go to St. Elizabeth Hospital where the defendant was accused of assaulting EMS personnel and another patient in the emergency room. And they spoke to a person who is a paramedic with the Beaumont Fire Department, who's wearing his and clearly distinct Beaumont Fire uniform. He transported the defendant to St. Elizabeth Hospital due to her being highly intoxicated on an unknown narcotic drug substance. And while in the emergency room, she punched him with a closed fist in his groin area. He felt pain and wished to file charges. So let's see. How many wrong things are there here? Assault EMS personnel and another patient. And the victim works for the city as a Beaumont fire paramedic. So there's 200, there's over 100,000 people there suffering from this. And she strikes him in, she's highly intoxicated on an unknown narcotic and punched him with a closed fist in a groin area. And it's just 15,000. That seems too low to me for a caregiver, emergency personnel to be, and the first thing you said was an interruption with me. You're just so rude. You don't follow the rules. You're going to get a chance to speak. Don't interrupt. No, two of us can't speak over each other. She, by law, has to take everything down. When you rudely interrupt, she can't take both of us speaking at the same time. But we learned this in elementary school. All right. It's a third-degree felony. You're looking, because of this, you're looking at 25 to life because of your rich criminal history. All right. Let me ask on the state here. Have y'all gotten the information from the emergency room on, I'm sure they did blood tests of her, of what might have been in her system.
And I don't believe we have that in the file. We can
Ma'am?
look, I don't believe we have that in the file. We just have the offense reports.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's,
Well, maybe the state might
coming.
be interested in getting it since it's alleged that she was on a narcotic.
yes, Judge, that's something we can look into.
And I'm sure they did, she was in there, they did blood tests on her. Find out what's in it. What are you asking for?
Resetting for about 4 weeks, Your Honor. I should discovery and see if we can get these resolved.
Wait, what's the state say? Anything else you want to add on this?
No, Judge, we'll look into the blood test. I don't have it physically. It might be on the flash drive, but that would be something.
Okay,
I'd
you got
look-
3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
okay. Yeah.
that's what you.
Actually, you have discovery online.
And also get a resetting and before you leave, we're gonna test her because of this. Just, we're gonna keep testing her to see. Richard Smith. Richard Smith?
I'm not spoken with him any time. That's all.
You know? I don't think I haven't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that.
Oh, I have that, but that one got moved.
I don't have a Richard Smith
Yeah, I
file.
think that got reset, Judge.
Oh, apparently got moved, Your Honor.
Right, Judge, who are you calling?
Richard Smith.
Louis Valencia.
Valencia should be in instead of Judge.
And what?
Valencia.
Yeah.
should be in.
Yeah, Richard Smith, I have that it got reset.
Valencia, there's no answer in the courtroom. I asked David to call into the hall for Luis Valencia.
I don't know who's gonna handle this.
Yeah, in 26 CR 669, the state of Texas versus Luis Fernando Valencia. There is no answer in the courtroom, no answer in the file. Please find out what his bond is.
$5,000 cap bond.
Defendant has failed to appear. A warrant shall be issued for his arrest. He is charged with a third-degree felony of evading arrest or detention with a motor vehicle. He's evading appearance now. His bond is revoked. A warrant is issued for his arrest. Bond in the amount of $25,000 is now issued in lieu of the original bond for his failure to appear. Plus, he must have a GPS device and is at home confinement except for our normal exceptions for lawyers, to and from the direct route possible work and court. Jessica Williams.
It's your first time.
All right, 26 CR 634 is called Jessica Nicole Williams. That is you?
Yes.
You're charged with the first degree felony of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So you're looking at, if convicted, no less than 5 nor more than 99 years confinement in prison or life imprisonment. And a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. I've just got something that says letter of representation. It's in this from Giles. Oh, he's representing
Did
you?
you have Mr. Cole? Okay, then I didn't have that.
Why isn't he here?
Judge, we just received that last night.
Yeah.
So,
I know, but he's the one who sent it, so he knows.
yes, sir. He was out ill
Yeah,
yesterday.
he's sick. He's probably still sick.
Still ill today.
Yeah.
And-
He told me that I needed to come in and see, he was trying to reset, but that because of my bond, I needed to be here.
All right, well,
Right.
reset one
Yeah.
week. Reset 1 week. Thank you.
Yes.
And what do I have left here? Taylor Jackson stuff with Brian Lane. What are we doing on all of this?
Well, we're
2, 3,
aggressively trying to work it out.
5. Not enough for me. I mean, we're heading up toward 2 years on the early case. Then 10/30, October 30th, he was indicted on. Was it all of these? No, then there's an unauthorized use of a motor vehicle that comes along on January 29th. On phones.
And that actually was when he actually found out that there were any warrants out for him, period. That particular time. So these are alleged, he was a juvenile. He got arrested on
What's your point?
I think the point is, Your Honor, that the state's attorney, Kanisha, has been progressively trying to work this out. There's one more avenue.
See, there's 2 separate victims, right?
Yes, sir. The last avenue or the counter that I received from defense counsel, I need to run it by my higher up. So I'm asking for a
When
reset.
can that be done?
He's out for 2 weeks, so it'd have to be at least a 3-week reset.
Okay, researching. Yeah, 4 and then, okay, anything else? That's all? Yes, sir. Thank you. Let's get ready for trial. Julianne, what's Julianne doing?
She's my complainant, just testify by Zoom.
Okay. Maybe from there.
Well, thank you. Well, there was no training on that. No, sure you ain't heard. Yes, understand. I'm sorry, don't hurt yourself. It's just a lot.
All right, we now recall 23 CR 1, the state of Texas versus Faisal Atari, present with his attorney, Mr. Weston, the state's attorneys. Anything to bring up before we bring the jury in, gentlemen?
No, Your Honor.
No, please bring the jury in. I ask the bailiff. Thank you.
Yes.
It's always good to start your day at the dentist's office.
Yeah.
I'd rather get it over with.
I'm sure we want to.
Yes, sir, we have been in plea negotiations.
What are we gonna do today?
Well, if I could just have a couple minutes, we're trying to look something up in the code. And I can make my announcement shortly.
Okay. Where is Taylor Jackson?
He is right outside. Let this thing. Let me go.
Yeah, make sure he's here.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm going.
This is what this book.
What do we have? 5 cases on Taylor Jackson, right? 5 cases, right? What are we gonna do? Oh, you're working on that.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Brown,
She's ready, Judge, she's pleaded.
thanks me.
Gives me some up. And Judge, this is a re-indictment, they re-indicted it last week, I do not have a new file ready, but I did have the new indictment.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ms. Brown. Please raise your right hand. Please swear or affirm that the people who live in the neighborhood of God. Yes. Okay. If you're all right now. Right now. Either. Yes. You do. Okay, let's file. You can open it up. Yes, ma'am. They love, yes, ma'am. I just need 2 copies of it. Place it right here, right outside the box. There you go. Just in front of the judge.
And 25 CR 1215 is now called the State of Texas versus Jalen Nicole Brown. That's you?
Yes, sir.
Present with Ms. Manalva, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Judge.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about July 16th, 2025, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the state jail felony of operating a motor vehicle in a public place while intoxicated with a child passenger, a child under 15 years of age. This is a state jail felony.
Judge, I believe there's a re-indictment and she's pleading to the re-indictment, not this case specifically.
It is right outside the box.
So the DWI indictment will be a dismissal with a plea to the new indictment for endangerment of a child.
So we've got 2 different cases here.
That's correct. They'll both be disposed of today.
I just have the file yet.
You don't have a file on this? Okay.
No, it's
Oh.
the
re-indictment
Re-indicted
from
last week, Judge. I don't have the new file yet.
Okay, then let's jump to 26 CR 1173. And the defendant waives a formal reading of this,
Yes, Judge.
and we proceed in summary.
Yes, Judge.
This was handed up on June 17th.
Last week, Judge.
Okay. Does the defendant waive any additional time that she may have under the law to proceed in this case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, have you discussed this with your attorney, Ms.
Yes,
Brown?
Yes.
All right. And this is what you wish to do is waive any additional time under the law that you may have. Since this was filed recently, you do have a little bit of time that you can prepare, but do you feel like you are ready to move forward and
Yes.
you've discussed this with your attorney and that is what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. In 26 CR 1173, in summary,
Yes, Judge.
this indictment states that on or about July 16th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, which was the same date as the prior
Yes, sir.
event. In Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the state jail felony of abandoning. It's the statute is abandoning or endangering a child, but in the charging instrument, this says you acted with intentional, knowing, recklessly, or with criminal negligence, placed a child in danger by operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated and failing to secure the child in a seat belt. And you did not voluntarily deliver the child to a designated emergency info provider. So was there an accident?
No, Judge.
Why is this? And the defendant did not voluntarily deliver the child to a designated emergency infant care provider under section 262.302. What's that all about? Why would that be? Arrests and engage in conduct by operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated and failing to secure the child in a seatbelt and did not voluntarily deliver the child to a designated emergency infant care provider. What happened on that? What's that all about?
But she was just pulled over in an accident.
Huh?
There wasn't an accident. She was just pulled over. Unless my memory is
I mean, is that a
mistaken.
necessary element of the offense, though, that's been alleged or not? I mean, I don't get these a lot, if ever. This says section 22.041F, offense code 3899. I mean, there's no referral or in the indictment to what code that is referring to. I don't think it's the penal code. Yeah. But it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already alleged.
They brought her back in.
Just ending with place.
Okay. And she took her views down.
That's an statute.
Yeah. Never question what. I'm still playing, but yeah, go ahead. I'm only.
But I think that we can probably just abandon that sentence.
I don't know, can we?
Under section 22.041H, it states that it's an exception of the application of this section, if the child is voluntarily delivered to a designated emergency infant care provider. So I think the indictment is just alleging that she did not do that, so the exception doesn't apply.
Where?
Section 22.041H. It's an exception to the general rule. I believe we can just abandon that because that's not applicable in this case. She did not deliver the child to anyone, so the exception doesn't apply, but I don't think we need to have it in the wording of the indictment to be able to charge her with this offense.
Well, I don't know if that's, I think as I'm reading this, maybe it needs to be in there.
Okay, I don't think it changes
It
what
says
was
it's an
like.
exception. So. But by stating did not deliver, then
The exception doesn't apply.
Section 22.041 applies. I think.
I don't believe it changes.
I don't think it does. Let's just keep it the way it is. I think it'll sort of. So this is a state jail felony, which means if convicted, you face confinement in a state jail for any term of not less than 180 days or more than 2 years. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty and not found guilty. You will be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, which can be up to 5 years in length, fined $500. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Is that your understanding of the plan?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this, guilty or not guilty?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document?
Yes.
Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? Are the contents all true and correct? Yes. Okay, you have to speak out so she can hear you there.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
States Exhibit 1 is tendered into
No
evidence
objection.
without objection admitted. This states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You understand what you're charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You're guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states so help you God. States Exhibit 1, made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report is waived.
Yes, Judge.
Nothing further. I'm going to follow this agreement and find you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But the court is going to instead defer or postpone any findings of guilt so long as you follow these terms and conditions of probation. Make sure you do. You will be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 5 years. If you fail to follow these properly, your probation could be revoked. You could then be found guilty and a sentence up to the full range of punishment, up to 2 years in the state jail. And that would be a felony conviction. Have you ever had a felony conviction? You don't want one. It closes off a lot of doors of opportunity. Anything else on this? Okay, please see the probation officer.
And Judge, the Canaan case will be dismissed, but paperwork has not been sent over by the state yet.
Sorry.
There's going to be a dismissal on the other case. It just hasn't been sent over by the state
Okay.
yet.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ricardo Kelly.
Oh, ready, Your Honor. And tell me, there's so many there.
There's
Morning.
The record shall now show that all parties are present and the jury is present. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for your patience. We had some issues that came up during the docket this morning, and we were able to take care of all of that. So now we can worry about this trial today. So thank you again for bearing with us. All right, the first thing we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is swear you in as jurors in this case. So please raise your right hands. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus Faisal Subhi Sudek Atari, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Lower your hands. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, by the oath that you have just taken as jurors, you have become officials of this court and active participants in the public administration of justice, which is a great honor in a democratic, self-governing republic as we live in. You get to make important decisions in your voice that you give to make sure that the system works under the law. If at any time you cannot clearly hear the proceedings, please don't hesitate to let me or the bailiffs know. And no one may discuss this case with you during your service as jurors until you go back to deliberate together. And likewise, don't feel offended if you happen to run into the attorneys in the hallway or in the elevator and they do little more than nod to you. To maintain the integrity of the jury system, the law prohibits them from speaking with you until you are released at the end of this trial. If someone does contact you or tries to contact you about this case while you are jurors, please report that at once to one of our bailiffs. And likewise, don't discuss the evidence in this case with your fellow jurors until the end when you are instructed to go and deliberate. And also, when people find out you are jurors, you can't discuss this anything about this case until the end of the trial when you are free to discuss any of the matters you wish with others. But be careful about speaking with your spouse, significant other, friends, or anyone else about this case until you are discharged from jury service. And also be careful when you read newspaper articles, watch television reports, or listen to radio news reports. If it's about this case, turn the channel, mute the sound, turn the page. Again, we don't want you to get any information about this case other than what you hear here in the courtroom. Now, some people like to take notes, and if you want to do that, that's fine. They are for your purposes only, though. You cannot show those notes to fellow jurors, nor mention in the deliberation room that they may be indicative of some matter. They can be used only to refresh your own personal recollection of what you may have recorded, which is an example. If you are deliberating and you have been taking notes and then you're deliberating about something that is important that is being dealt with in the jury room, then how are we doing on the phone?
I'm just taking my notes.
Are you, you're going to do that? Good for you. I just was curious, which is what you're allowed to do. You can access your phone. No, you can access, you're doing what you need to do. You can get your phone ready to take notes and preserve those on the front of your phone, and you can refer to them as necessary throughout this trial. Also, but be careful. You can't say, look, you can't do this, for example. This is what I wrote, and I wanted y'all to see what I wrote. They're for your purposes only. Then you refresh your memories of what you've recorded, and then you go, I think maybe, I believe the evidence was blank. Don't say, here's what the evidence was, because then that would be inappropriate. But there's a way, it's awkward, but there's a way of doing it so that you can share your thoughts with others as necessary. But good work. Good work. Now, don't go to any of the locations referred to by the witnesses in this case, nor perform any individual investigation on your own. You will receive all the evidence here from that witness chair and any exhibits that might be introduced. Also, don't do research in books, encyclopedias, dictionaries, or go to the library or review courthouse records about this trial in order to obtain information over and above what is going to be presented to you during this trial under the rules of evidence. Listen carefully, as I know you will, to the testimony. No testimony will be read back to you about unless you disagree about a specific statement made by a witness. And then it won't be read to you. I would ask the court reporter, who takes 300 words a minute, the lady's magnificent. But if there's a question about a disagreement about a statement or so about a witness, then if the court allows it, she will type up the particular portion, then it will be sent to you to refer to in your deliberations. But if you ask for transcript of the testimony of a particular witness in general, a whole testimony, you won't get that. You're not going to get that. So you can only be allowed to have transcriptions of particular points of testimony that you might be disagreeing about. Now, the lawyers may choose to give opening statements here in this case. And if they do, these statements are not evidence. The statements of attorneys, by the way, do not constitute any evidence at all. But attorneys are important in a trial. It's not the questions they ask of a witness that's the evidence. It's the answer under oath by the witness that is the answer. But the question gives you the context as a juror to understand what that answer is being responded to. And you can refer in your thinking, of course, There was a question made, they asked that, and then the answer was made. But it's the answer under oath from that witness chair and any exhibits that may be introduced that constitute the evidence in all cases. Now, your oath states you will render a verdict only on the evidence submitted to you under the court's rulings. And again, you will consider the testimony of witnesses and also evidence presented in the form of physical objects or documents, which we call exhibits. During the trial, attorneys make objections. And when an objection is made, it is necessary for the court to rule on it. And people have asked me, what is it you've done in your life that helps you in your job as a trial judge? And I tell them 10 years as a basketball official. It's so similar. You have to know the rules and you have to apply them fairly. There's just not 500 people shouting at you every time you blow the whistle. I started when I was in college as an official, and then did it for about 10 years until I just didn't have the time anymore. When I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office, I was traveling a lot. So, but it was a great introduction for what I do up here. Yeah, I have to know the rules. Then we got all kinds of rules we refer to. And this right here, this is a compilation of several of the codes we refer to. The first set is the Penal Code. And this, along with the Controlled Substances Act, pretty much are 95% of all criminal laws that we deal with are enacted and part of the Penal Code and in the Drug Code. A third of our cases are drug cases. So they had to ultimately, over time, add a code just for controlled substances. This thick one is the Code of Criminal Procedure, which dictates how a criminal case works its way through the system from the beginning to the end. And here's the Controlled Substances Act here. And here is the rules of evidence. And in this one, this dictates how evidence is properly introduced in a trial. I'm sensitive about this since I was on the Rules of Evidence Committee that wrote this. And there are other codes, the Code of Appeals, and those are things you're not going to be worried about. But most of the items that you're going to be dealing with are based upon the Code of Evidence, the Penal Code, and the Code of Criminal Procedure. So when an objection is made, the court has to rule on it, just like a basketball official making a call for a foul. If the objection is made to a question of one attorney, if I overrule the objection, well, the witness will answer the question. If I sustain the objection, the witness won't answer the question. But it could be asked in a different way that meets with the rules of evidence as the court deems appropriate. From time to time, the court may give you instructions under the law. And at the end of the trial, I will most certainly give you the closing instructions right before you go to deliberate, because that's what the law requires of the court. Whenever the court gives an instruction of law to the jury by your oath that you have taken, you must follow this. And the trial is going to proceed in the following way. In just a moment, I'm going to ask the state of Texas to present the indictment, and then the defendant shall plead to the indictment. The lawyers get to make opening statements right after that, and those are brief overviews of what the positions will be in this case, so you can understand where they're coming from. And because the burden of proof is always on the accusing authority, the state of Texas goes first. And then when I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office, the United States, same way. Because of the presumption of innocence, a defendant can sit quietly and say, I require the accusing authority, the prosecution, to prove my guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So they call witnesses, and they will question the witnesses from that witness stand. When they're through, The defense gets an opportunity to cross-examine witnesses. At some point in time, you will hear the state say, "We rest." When that happens, the defense may or may not call witnesses. Sometimes they don't. They rest. When they do that, immediately, I know from my experience and the training here as a lawyer, I know what they're going to argue with final argument. I haven't heard it, but I know what they're going to say. They're going to say the state did not meet its burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and thus we're not required to prove our innocence, and we're standing by the presumption of innocence. But the defense can nonetheless call witnesses if they want, and they can question witnesses. The state gets a fair opportunity to cross-examine. And when they're both presented, all the witnesses are presented, they rest. I give the closing instructions to you, and they argue, and you go back together to deliberate. At all times, it is your foremost duty to see that justice is done in accordance with the law the court gives to you and based upon the evidence presented. And also, in doing that, each of you, by law, as jurors, get to determine what the facts are. You evaluate the credibility of each witness. You get to determine how much weight and credibility is to be given each of the witnesses. In evaluating and considering the weight and the value of witnesses' testimony, you might consider their appearance, their attitude, their behavior, their interest in the outcome of the case, their relationship to the defense or to the state of Texas, the inclination of the witness to tell the truth, the probability or improbability of the witness's statements. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, because you never get 100% of all the evidence and facts of any situation. The law states that the jury can fill in those gaps that aren't presented, evidence isn't presented. You can fill in the gaps by using and drawing reasonable inferences from the testimony of witnesses and the evidence. Like if something A equals something B equals something C, we learned that thus, under the rules, A will equal C. Sometimes jurors go back and that they have to figure out using their common sense and their life's experiences. You know things when you see things. So you get to fill in those gaps that are always missing in all cases from testimony. All right. At this time, I'm going to ask the state of Texas to present the indictment. The defendant shall stand and will plead to the indictment at the conclusion of the reading. The state may proceed.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jurors for the county of Jefferson, state aforesaid, duly organized as such at the January term AD 2023 of the Criminal District Court of Jefferson County in said county and state upon oath in said court, present that Faisal Subhi Sadiq Atari, which is the name, hereafter styled the defendant, on or about this, the 8th day of February 2023, in anterior to the presentment of this indictment in the county of Jefferson, state of Texas, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly cause bodily injury to Julie Lozano, a member of the defendant's family, household, or person with whom the defendant had a dating relationship, by squeezing Julie Lozano's neck with said defendant's hands. It is further alleged that during the commission of said assault, the defendant did then and there, intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly, impede the normal breathing or circulation of the blood of Julie Lozano by applying pressure to Julie Lozano's throat or neck, or by blocking Julie Lozano's nose or mouth with said defendant's hands, against the peace and dignity of the state, signed by the form of the grand jury.
Faisal Atari, how do you plead to the indictment as just read by the state of Texas? Guilty or not guilty?
I'm not guilty.
Not guilty is entered into the record on your behalf. You may be seated. Thank you. All right, at this time, the court will allow opening statements and the state gets to open and close based upon the law.
Good morning. The Opening statements are not opening arguments, so you're not gonna see me get all upset and on screen. That comes later. That's usually my personality, but just kind of give you a roadmap of what to expect to look for today. And it's not going to be a long trial, as the judge told you before, because these things happen behind closed doors. So what you're going to hear from is you're going to hear from Julie Lozano. And if you'll notice, we have a YouTube and a Zoom setting up here. And up there, there's a little thing that says Julianne is waiting to come in. And that's Miss Lozano. She's going to testify by Zoom. This was agreed to by the parties because the parties have the defendant and the complaining witness have an autistic child that for them to fly and be able to travel the way they have to do to get here, it would cause some issues with the child. So that we've agreed to allow her to testify by Zoom so she doesn't have to make those travel arrangements. So you're going to hear from Ms. Lozano, and Julie's going to tell you that back in around 2015, that she's from the Philippines, and the defendant here is from United Arab Emirates. That you'll hear her say UAE a lot. But they met there. And they fell in love. And just like any other couple, they dated for a while. They saw each other for a while. And after a few months, they decided to get married. And some of the women on this jury have probably watched Lifetime television for women and know that dream guy on sometimes when you say I do, you should have said I don't. And in this case, you're going to find that's the truth, because right after she said I do, that's when problems started. Matter of fact, you're going to hear her tell you about their past history and their relationship as their marriage for 8 years before this occurred was nothing but abuse, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You're going to hear her talk about even on what she calls their honeymoon in March of 2018, when they went on somewhat of a honeymoon to another country, that she ended up in the hospital getting a CAT scan because of the injuries inflicted upon her. She didn't have anything damaging. She just had a concussion. She's a nurse, by the way. You'll hear her. She's a nurse. You're going to hear how after that it was just it was a constant thing. But where they lived in the UAE was kind of an accepted thing. It was not something that was reported or dealt with. It was just something that you dealt with at home. And so that remained for all the time, even after they had children. They have 2 children together, a boy and a girl. That abuse and that physical and emotional remained throughout their marriage. Then they decided that they would move to the United States. It was a new chapter in their life. They were going to move here. She was getting a job. She took a job at a hospital, and she began working at a hospital, local hospital here in Beaumont. And you're going to hear how you're going to hear from her supervisor how she came and who she was when she came. I'll talk about that in a minute. But Julie's going to tell you that everything was fine. They moved here about June of 2022, and there was no physical abuse from June of 2022 until this happened in February of It's February 7th. It says in the indictment on or about the 8th. That's when it was reported on the 8th. But that night on February the 7th, 2023, you're going to hear how Julie came home from work. And here's the routine. And it's not an unusual routine that you hear from these types of situations. All through the years, Mr. Atari over here, the defendant, has been accusing Ms. Lozano of sleeping with other people, having an affair. Every time he was tracking her with the phone, he was keeping an eye on her, watching what she was doing. He basically kept her under his full control so that she could not, if she wanted to, have any kind of other person. But he was constantly checking her, making sure she hadn't had sex with other men. That night, she got home. He had been drinking. The defendant had been drinking, and Julie got home from work. They got inside. I think they stopped by. He picked her up. They stopped by the liquor store on the way home, and he became intoxicated and was again accusing her of sleeping with somebody else. He ended up placing his hands around her neck and choking her, asking her who it was that she was sleeping with. And she's going to tell you from her statement that She told the police that this time was different. This time there was a lot of pressure and she thought she was going to die, that she thought he was going to kill her. And she's in the United States, so she still didn't call that night. She didn't call the police. Next morning, she gets to the hospital and her supervisor, Wendy Delaney, who actually took her into the hospital, kind of did her orientation things, is going to tell you that she saw Julie crying. And she was upset. Something was still upsetting her, and it was from the night before. And so she asked her what happened, and Julie told her that her husband had strangled her and had then told her kind of some more of the story of what had been going on in their life. And so Julie, taking that information, went to their supervisor, and the supervisor called the police. And so you're going to hear from Yvette Barrero, who is from the Beaumont Police Department. She's going to come in and say that she went to the hospital. She responded very, very quickly. In fact, Wendy will tell you they got there within probably about 30 minutes after they got a phone call. Here's the Beaumont Police Department there to kind of help. She's going to tell you that she talked to Julie, and she's also going to show you some photographs she took of Julie's neck with the redness. You're going to hear Wendy say she saw redness around the neck of Julie. And she's going to tell you how she talked to, not only did she talk to Julie and get the story and look at her injuries, and they were consistent with what the story was, but she's also going to tell you that they went to the school where Mr. Atari was picking up children, and they had a conversation with him. And you're going to get to hear the conversation, her asking him, "Why is your wife afraid of you?" And he's going to tell her that at very first, he tells her, "Well, sometimes I get a little crazy." But then he starts talking about, "I just yell and scream. I don't do anything." And then you're going to hear him talk about how she's not a good wife, how she's not a good mother, how she's not a good this. And you're going to hear the detective ask him again, "Why is she afraid of you?" That has nothing to do with this. And he's going to go on and on about how bad his wife is and how horrible a mother she is, and she doesn't care. They haven't had sex in a long time. And you're going to hear the story, but you're never going to hear anything other than he said, "Maybe I just pushed her." So you'll get to hear all that. I think once you look at the redness and injuries around the neck, you listen to Julie tell about what happened that night, and you hear the Detective Barrero and you hear Wendy Delaney talk about what all that was said, and also the demeanor of this young lady you're about to hear from. I don't think you'll have a problem with the convictions. I look forward to presenting the case to you.
Mr. West, on behalf of the defense, do you want to make an opening statement at this time?
Not this time, Aaron.
You can-
We'll reserve our right.
You can defer until later. All right. The state may call your next witness.
Call Julie Lozano.
Okay. I'm going to admit this lady. Yeah, I think that.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, we hear her, we just don't see her. Stand by.
Hey, Julie, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have your video turned off, your camera turned off?
Yes.
Can you turn it on, please?
On? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I think we're going to be fine. Okay, thank you. Don't worry.
Good
There she is.
Good morning.
morning.
All right. And please state your name, ma'am.
My name is Julianne Lozano.
And please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Please lower your hand. Thank you, and the state may proceed.
So Julie, what do you do for a living?
I'm a registered nurse.
How long have you been a nurse?
From 2009.
Do you know a person by the name of Basil Atari?
Yes, sir.
How do you know him?
He's my husband.
Okay. Can you see us on the screen? Can you see the screen, the other people on the screen?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you have it set where you can, are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't have it set to where you can see the other people?
I can see Mr. John Stevens, his camera. That's it, I think.
Okay. Can you Maybe turn your phone sideways, maybe you can see more of the screen. Well. Okay, I guess you're stuck where you're at. So how do you know Faisal Tari is what?
He's my husband.
Okay. Can you see? Let me see if you can see. What all can you see? Just Judge Stevens?
What's that again, sir?
Can you just see Judge Stevens?
Yes.
Okay, can you see me standing?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take this camera. I'm gonna stick it over here to some other people. Can you see them at that table?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize anybody at that table?
Yes, sir.
Who do you recognize?
It's Faisal.
What's he wearing?
Color white.
Okay, has he got, is he wearing a jacket or just a white shirt?
Just a white shirt.
Record reflects he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
So when did you first meet Mr. Atari?
2014 in the UAE.
Okay. And did you and Mr. Atari start dating?
When did we start dating? I think few months after I arrived the UAE.
Okay. So when you met him, how did you meet him?
In person.
Okay. And
We work together in a clinic.
you worked together cleaning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said that after a few months you started dating?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long did y'all date before you got married?
I think like only 3 months.
Okay. So let me ask you, during that time you were dating, was there any type of problems between the two of you, or was everything good?
I think it started good, like he was okay, and then after a few months, like he was like checking my phone.
Okay. Okay, but let's just start. When you first started, everything was good?
Yes.
Okay.
Like he was nice.
He was nice?
Yes.
You fall in love?
What's that again?
Did you fall in love with him?
Yes.
Okay. And you were married. Where were you married at?
Where we were married at in the UAE, in a courthouse.
So when you were living in UAE, did you have any family or anybody there that was living with you, or was it just you?
No, it was only me.
How old were you when you were living there?
I think 28.
Okay. So after you got married, before you got married, was there any problems with him? Any kind of anger issues?
Yeah, he has. He had.
Did he ever physically hurt you before you got married?
I think only once.
Okay, how did that happen?
I think I got mad and then I told him that I will go home to my apartment or villa. That's what we called there. And then he got mad. And I think he slapped me that time.
Did he kind of what that time?
He slapped me.
Okay, he slapped you. Okay. Nothing else?
No.
So after you got married, did it become worse?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about when y'all were married. When did it really start getting bad?
Right after we got married, like he was more physically abusive to me.
Was it immediately after you got married?
Yeah, I can say yeah.
Okay. Well, when you got married, did y'all go on a honeymoon anywhere?
Yeah, we went to Thailand.
Okay, what month did y'all get married? Do you remember what month and year?
We get married in January 2000. Give me a second. I think 15.
2016 or 15?
No, 15. 15.
January 2015. When did y'all go on your honeymoon?
March.
Where did you go?
We went to Thailand.
Anywhere specific in Thailand?
I think it was in Phuket.
Okay, I guess to see. So, how long were you there?
I'm not really. I don't really remember. I think it's like more than a week.
While you were there, was there an issue?
Yeah.
And what happened while you were there that caused problems?
We had an argument, and then he hurt me there too.
What was the argument over? Do you remember what you were arguing about?
Well, there's a lot. Like one, like for example, if he thinks that I'm looking to other guys, something like that. And then one time also was he was deleting some friends on my Facebook account, and then he got mad because I asked him like if he deleted some of my friends that were from the Philippines, and then he got mad at me.
Okay, so it was jealousy.
Yes.
All right. What did he do to you there in Thailand after he found he got jealous?
I was taking shower that time in the bathtub, and then he pulled me by the hair, and then he dragged me to the bed, and he started hitting me on the face.
We're losing you, Julie. I can't see your face. Are you doing?
What?
I can't see your face while you're talking. We need to look at you. Okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
You. Okay. So, because of that beating, did you have to go to the hospital?
Yes.
And did you get treated at the hospital there in Thailand?
I get CAT scan.
You had a CAT scan.
Yes.
Did they find anything on the CAT scan?
No, it was negative.
Okay. What were the injuries that you had because that made them want to do the CAT scan?
I was very dizzy, and then my face was all bruised.
So did anything else happen in Thailand, or was that the only incident that happened in Thailand?
I think that's the only thing that happened in Thailand.
So when you got back to, I guess you went back to UAE,
Yes, sir.
and when you got back there, were both of you working in UAE?
Yes.
And then how long did y'all stay in UAE before you moved?
We stayed there I stayed there from 2015 to 2000, I think 16 or 17. I don't really remember. Give me a second. Yeah, I think until 2016.
Okay. Where did you go? Where did you go from?
From the UAE, we stayed in the US for like few months. I was trying to get some employment here, but my experience not that good. So we went to the Philippines, like try to settle there, and then he did not like it there too. So we went to Jordan instead.
So you went to first the United States to try to get work. You couldn't find work there.
Yes.
Then you went to the Philippines.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And then from the Philippines,
Yes.
you went to Jordan.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. While you're going and traveling and doing all this, were there other incidences that happened with being hurt by him?
No, not in the Philippines and not in the US the first time we moved here.
Okay. What about when you went to Jordan?
Sometimes
What do you mean sometimes? What would
like
happen?
it's less because we live with his family. Like the family lives next door.
So the family was there, so it wouldn't happen in front of them, would it?
No, like we live next door, so I think he was able to control his emotions, but at some point, I think he hurt me there.
So when did you move to the United States?
We moved here 2022 June.
How were things once you moved here to the United States? And let's start with why did you move here to the United States?
We got visa. I got work.
Okay. Was that work being a nurse?
Yes.
When you moved here in 2022, how were things between you and the defendant before this incident happened?
Initially, we were okay. Like I think he knows the rule, like not allowed for him to be physical, something like that. And then it's just, but it's still the same. Like it's
Good.
still like some kind of jealous,
Julie, all
controlling. Yes, yes, sir.
right. Need to back up a little bit. Slow down. When you keep moving your phone around.
I'm
When,
sorry.
okay. When you first got here in 2022, was everything okay at first?
Yeah, I can say that we were okay, but it's still the same. Like some kind of jealous type of person is still asking.
What
Yeah, but
kind of things would he ask you that he was showing you where he was jealous?
like well, it's we were hired by the agency, so I'll explain to you. Like the first week we came here with like the agency, and then they set up everything for us. So everything like the house, the mattress, the sofa, all those stuff that we need. So the agency like look for some people to help them set it up. So he was asking me like if I met those people, like they were Filipinos. So same with my nationality. So he was kind of um jealous with them.
The non-responsive nature of the answers.
All right, ask the next question.
So you had the agency help set everything up when y'all got there. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And so the agency took care of your housing, is that right?
Like the apartment, yeah.
Okay.
Like
And
all the stuff that we need.
is that the agency that helped you get a job as a nurse here in the United States?
Yeah.
And while you were here, did both of you apply for to be legal resident aliens?
Yes. Since he's my dependent, like he will have also a visa.
Okay. Were you both given visas to stay here?
Yes, sir.
So how long was everything okay after you moved here in June of 2022?
I can say like physically he was okay. Like I think he hurt me one time before the incident that really happened.
Okay. But emotionally, what was he doing? What was he doing talking? What was he saying to you that was emotionally abusive?
Like he was accusing me if I'm having sex with other Filipino, like with our neighbors, something like that. Or he keeps on asking me like who backed me while we were there. Like he was kind of, I don't know, like suspicious. I don't know what you say that.
Would he also check you physically to see if you'd had sex with other people?
Yes, sir.
What would he do?
Like every time I go home from work, he will let me remove my underwear and check.
So he would actually check your underwear and check you physically?
Yes, sir.
How often would he do that?
After that, like he will say like, and then he will ask me like if I have sex, something like that.
Okay. So did that go on for the entire time that you were in the United States before this incident?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about February 7th of 2023 when this happened, okay? So where were you at that day?
I think I worked that day.
Okay. And after you got off work, did you drive home yourself or did?
No, he's the one who always drives. Like he sends me home, and the kids sends us to school or to work, and then sends us home.
Okay. So when do you think you got off work that night? What time do you usually work?
I work 7 to 7. I clock out 7:08.
And did he pick you up?
Yes.
And was he in a good mood?
No, he's not.
Was he already angry whenever he picked you up?
Yeah, I think so. And then I'm not really sure if he drank before me getting home.
Okay. Was he intoxicated? Was he drunk?
I'm not really sure. I don't really remember if he had some drink that day.
Okay. Do you remember telling the police that you thought he had been drinking when you got home and he got drunk?
Well, I know that we went to the I think liquor store, and then he got some drinks.
Okay. So was he once again making accusations to you?
Yes, sir.
What accusations was he making again?
Well, that time it was kind of different. Like he was asking me or telling me about the doctor, the ear doctor that I worked with. Like he said, like I searched his name on Facebook, which I never did.
Okay, so he's thinking you were searching the doctor you work with's name on Facebook,
Yes, sir.
and you said you never did.
Yes.
Okay. And he was jealous about that.
Yes.
So what did he do after you told him you did not do that?
He just kept on asking like who fucked me, like who had I sex with while we are there in Beaumont.
So before we get to that part, there's one other thing that I want to talk about before we get there. Was there times when the defendant would actually get mad at you and urinate on you?
Yeah.
Would he also do that to other parts of your household that if he got mad at you?
Can you rephrase that question?
Would he urinate on other things besides just you in the house if he got mad?
I think he did once because he was mad too.
Was it on your pillow?
Yeah. And then I'm not really sure like, if it's in the kitchen, but I think he did once also before that incident.
So that night, he's accused you of searching the doctor's name. Did he check you like he always does to see if you'd had sex with anybody?
Yes.
And what did he do after that? What happened?
Um I think I was in the closet that time, and then I was just trying to fix, and then he started asking me again, and then he put his hands on my neck, and he kept on asking me like who I had sex with.
Okay. Was he squeezing around your neck?
Yes.
Were you having trouble breathing?
Yes, sir.
How long? How hard was he squeezing? Really hard, making you fear?
I think it was like hard enough, and then I think I asked him to stop.
Did you think he was going? Was this worse than the other times?
I don't think so.
Okay, so had he strangled you before?
Yes.
Did you think that you one time it might go too far?
Yeah, maybe.
So you did. How did he stop? What made him stop?
I think he has a one on that. on his hand, and then I think it's just started bleeding.
Now, he'd cut his hand earlier on a knife, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the day before.
And did it start bleeding while he was choking you?
Yes.
And is that what made you stop?
Yes.
What did he do after he stopped? What happened after he stopped?
He went to the washroom or to our bathroom and then washed his hands.
What was it like the rest of the night being there?
I was scared because I don't know if he will be mad again and do that again when I'm asleep. I don't know.
So the next morning, did you have to go to work again at 7?
Yes.
And were you still upset because of what happened the night before?
But I'm scared. But he sent me to work.
So when you got to work, did you tell somebody?
Yeah. I told my preceptor that I need to tell her something.
Did you explain what happened the night before?
Yes.
Did you notice the any type of discoloration or injuries around your neck?
Yes.
Was it red around your neck?
It was red.
Have you ever been back together with him since that time?
No.
Have you and your children been living somewhere else now?
Do I need to answer that?
I'm not going to ask where you live. I just said, are you living somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay. And you have not, now you have had communication with the defendant, have you not?
He sends message in that messaging app.
Okay. And do you respond?
Do I respond? Yes.
Why do you respond?
Well, to be honest, we don't have family here. It's just the four of us. I know he did something bad to me, but I still feel bad to him too because he's there.
Okay. So you just, out of the goodness of your heart, you feel bad for him, don't you?
Maybe.
What did you say?
I said maybe.
Baby. Okay. Did you ever have to receive any type of medical treatment other than in Taiwan before?
No.
Okay. The rest of the time, did you ever report it to any authorities before when it happened?
No.
Why not?
Are you talking about the Thailand or are you talking about the UAE?
In UAE.
The UAE is an Arabic country. A lot of people there are Arabic. I don't know how to speak Arabic.
Okay. Is it one of those countries that's not really frowned upon to do something to your wife?
Yes.
Okay. What about Jordan? Did you ever report it in Jordan?
No.
Is the United States this time, was it different this time and you needed help?
Yes, it's different in the United States because it's equal between male and female. Like males cannot be the same like in Arab country.
So you felt safe saying something here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. I'll pass it with you.
There you go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. You said earlier that before y'all got married, he had abused you, correct?
Yes.
Right, but you still married him.
Yeah.
And why did you still marry him after that happened?
Well, I cannot file a divorce.
Well, this is before you were married. Why did you marry him if
you thought this was gonna happen?
Well, I live in the UAE. We used to live in the UAE. I don't have any family that can help me. Like it's an Arab country.
Okay. So you needed him to help you?
What's that?
You needed him to help you?
I don't understand the question. Sorry.
The question is, you stated earlier that he was abusing you and assaulted you before you got married, correct?
It's only one time before we got married.
Okay. And you still married him even though he had done that?
Yes.
Okay. During the time period that y'all were moving through various countries, from 2016 to 2022, did you ever leave the kids with him and you go somewhere else?
Yeah. The kids stayed with him in Jordan, I think from 2018 until 2022 when we moved here to the US.
Where were you during this period of time?
Where what?
Where were you?
I was in the Philippines.
Okay. So he moved back home to Jordan where his family was, correct?
Yes.
And you moved back to the Philippines where your family was,
Yes.
right? And the children stayed with him.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Now, after this incident, then we're going to talk about what happened here in the United States, here in Texas, in Beaumont. After this happened that night, did you call the police?
I did not, but I told my preceptor and then she talked to our supervisor and I think the supervisor called the police.
Okay. That was the next day, correct?
Yes, that's the next day.
But you never contacted the police about this, did you?
No.
Okay. And you only talked to the police after your coworker called them and made a report.
Yes.
Talking about the urination on your on you and on your stuff, you said he urinated on your pillow.
Yeah.
Okay, was that in bed?
Yeah, I think so, in the bed.
Okay, and is that the same bed he sleeps in?
Yeah.
Okay. And earlier you said that was your husband. Are you and Mr. Achari still married?
Yes.
Okay, you haven't filed for divorce yet?
Well, I don't want to initiate the divorce because I don't want him to be mad at me.
So you haven't talked to him about a divorce. You're still married to him and still want to be married to him?
Sorry, what's that again?
You still want to be married to him?
No.
Okay, so you do want to get a divorce.
Yeah, but I don't want it to initiate because it's a different thing. I don't want him to get mad at me. I don't want him to be mad at me that he will do more scarier things.
Okay. So you don't want to divorce him, but you want a divorce, is what you're saying?
Yes.
That's what it's showing.
Julie, is it also because you don't want him to know where you're at?
Yes.
Let me ask you a silly question. When he was choking you and strangling you and had his hands around your neck, did it cause you some pain?
Yeah, on my neck.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass it.
Anything else, John?
That's right.
Okay, Julie, you can sign off. Thank you so much. If we need you again, I'll text you and let you know we need you again, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Take care. That's okay.
All right. Faith, we'll call your next witness.
Wendy Delaney.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah. Please have a seat. Thank you, ma'am.
Would you spell your name for me?
Spell
Yes, sir.
it. WENDY.
This is gonna feel funny having that right in your face, but can you state your name for the record, please?
Wendy Delaney.
And how are you employed?
I'm a nurse at Baptist Hospital.
And how long have you been working for them?
For Baptist, about 6 years.
Did you know an individual by the name of Julie Lozano? How did you know Julie, or how do you know Julie Lozano?
She was a nurse in the ER and I oriented her when she first came.
What was Julie like when she first came?
Very quiet, very shy, very good nurse, but very low self-esteem.
How could you tell just by talking to her and looking at her that she had low self-esteem?
When I would say to her, "Oh, really good job," she would look down and say, "No, no," and she rarely looked you in the eye when you would talk to her.
Was she kind nurse, good nurse?
Absolutely, very cool.
How we can't tell from looking when she testified by Zoom. How big is Julie?
Maybe 5'1", or shorter than I am. And maybe 110 at the most.
Small.
Yes.
Petite.
Very tiny.
Okay. So back on February the 8th of 2023, were you working at Baptist Hospital?
Yes, sir.
And was Julie Lozano working at Baptist Hospital? And that morning, about 7:30, did you come across Julie doing some things in her duties?
Yes. First of all, very first thing in the morning, the first time I saw her, she was off orientation by now. And I think I was the charge nurse. And first thing in the morning, she came up to me and said, "Do you mind if I talk to you later about something personal?" I said, "Sure." And I said, "Whenever you have time." And it wasn't long after that because our shift starts at 7,
Right.
and then it was about 7:30ish. I was kind of walking around seeing how everyone was doing, and she was in a room cleaning the room, getting ready for another patient. And she asked me if I could come in, and we shut the door, and that's when I started.
So what was her demeanor like?
She was quiet. I mean, she's always quiet, but she said she wanted to show me something, and she started having tears in her eyes. Do you want me to go ahead and tell you?
Yeah, was she
Yes.
crying? She started crying when she started talking about this.
Yes.
Did she appear to be upset about the
Absolutely.
event that happened?
Fearful.
Okay.
Fearful.
And did she just tell you this without you prompting or asking any questions?
Absolutely. She said that.
Objection, hearsay.
Judge, two things. One is she's upset. She still felt that the event still fresh in her mind because it just happened the night before. She called this lady to come talk to her. So this would be more along the lines of a present sense impression, even though it's a couple hours later, it's still still got her upset. She's still into the emotions. Second thing is if the court will allow for that, we would ask that you allow it because it's going to determine not for the truth of the matter, sir, but what she did next.
Good. We're going to take a break right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask you to relax, stretch your legs for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll bring you back in. I need to make some legal rulings here. Thank you. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Thank you.
Okay. Or it's me causing trouble, not you.
No, it's there. No, I haven't. I broke it one of the yesterday, but you okay when I handed it to him. Okay. You could go. I wasn't worried about you stabbing. No, some of my clients don't read a little bit. I get that when I get myself.
It's all good. I know you walked in, we could be down here, it's just wasn't sure how quick. So. It is. Like, I don't know, it depends on your computer, because sometimes I'll be up there and Charnel, if you're something, still talking to me,
I'm sure, yeah, that's what she said. Now I think I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
So, ma'am, or you want me to continue questioning, right? Just
Yes, sir.
okay. So when she approached you, did she seem upset when we got in the room?
Shed tear.
Okay.
Once the door was shut and she started crying. I mean, she started to talk, she started crying.
She did?
Shaky a little bit.
Yeah. She had to what?
She was a little shaky.
Shaky.
Very nervous.
Was it that you got the impression that she was still having influence from what happened the night before?
Yeah, she was scared.
And what did she tell you?
She told me that her husband had tried to kill her, that she showed me her, which I had not noticed, but her under her chin and then around down to the side. She still had red marks. She also said that he had showed her that he had lately been wanting to buy a gun. And she had been trying to talk him out of it, that he had told her he would kill her. She said that when she gets home, in the ER, it's not always that, 7 o'clock we leave. Oftentimes we leave at maybe 7:10 if we're lucky, maybe 7:30 or 7:45, depending on the patient and the charting and things like that. And that if she got out late, he would immediately accuse her of having an affair with someone. He would make her take her underwear off and smell them to see if they smelled like sex. He would check her underwear often to see if she was having some kind of discharge to prove that she had had sex. That's when we were in the room.
Right.
She did say other things when we went to Tracy's office.
Yeah, and that moment with all that,
All that.
was it kind of blurted out, or did it look like she was reflecting on everything and trying to think up things?
No, it was, she, when she started getting into it and crying, she just kind of, it was like a
release
of everything.
Afterwards, what did you do after that? What she told you?
I told her that we needed to go talk to Tracy immediately.
Who's
And
Tracy?
Tracy was the manager at the time. She's now one of the assistant CNOs in the hospital, but she was the manager. And so we went directly into her office and explained to her what she had just revealed.
Okay. Did y'all call the police because of that?
Yes, we did.
Anything else?
That's it. No, Judge. That's the essence of what I wanted to ask about.
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to argue that is not the hearsay exception. The hearsay exception is regarding the startling event or condition is what it says there. She's talking about prior history and things that happened between them leading up to that. So I would argue that anything not related to the event is not an excited utterance. if it's about what happened the night before, then it might be an excited utterance, although I would argue that it's not because it did not happen right away while the declarant was still under the stress of or the excitement. She'd already gone to sleep, went to sleep, woke up the next day, got dressed, went to work, started work. This is not something where it's designed to be where the police show up and the declarant's outside and screaming about what happened, what's going on, and what just happened. This is something that happened, said the next day. This is not an hour later, 2 hours later, 30 minutes later. This is after somebody had already been to sleep overnight, got up the next morning, got dressed, went to work, started work. So I don't believe this is a hearsay exception.
Okay. Anything else? By the board? All right. Overruled. The court, under Rule 803, the exceptions to the rule against hearsay, and the rule against hearsay is that hearsay is not admissible unless a statute, the rules, or other rules prescribing statutory authority provide for its admissibility. And hearsay means a person's oral or written verbal expression or nonverbal conduct that a person intends as a substitute for verbal expression. Hearsay goes on to, it's defined more thoroughly as a statement that the declarant does not make while testifying at the current trial or hearing, and a party offers an evidence to prove the truth of the matter asserted in that statement. So, under Rule 803, the Rules of Evidence Committee carved out several exceptions against the general rule against the admissibility of hearsay. Excited utterance seems to be most applicable here. A statement relating to a startling event or condition, which the defense claims is not under these circumstances an exception under this excited utterance rule. However, the defense does not go on to state the rest of the rule. A statement relating to a startling event or condition is an exception to the rule against the general inadmissibility of hearsay. In other words, it becomes admissible if it is made while the declarant is under the stress of excitement that event had caused. Yes, this witness's testimony lays out clearly that the complainant in this case was certainly still under stress of the excitement that the event had caused. And it was within hours, I think, of when the complainant made the statements to this witness, and therefore, under Rule 803, Subpart 2, this fits as an exception against the general rule that hearsay statements are inadmissible. The court will allow it, overrule the objection. Bring the jury in, please. Thank you.
Do you need your water and book? Do you want your statement? Sure. I'm gonna give you both.
The defense has made an objection and the court overrules the objection. The defense, he's a fine lawyer and smart guy. So are the prosecutors, and it's always an honor working with them. Hearsay is generally not admitted unless it fits an exception to the rule against hearsay. Hearsay means a statement of somebody talking about a particular set of events, and they are not the one making the statement, but it is being testified to by someone who learned from that person. And generally, that is not admissible because you want the person making the statement directly. That is more, has more provability than the witnesses who perceive the statements. However, the Rules of Evidence Committee carved out some exceptions to this rule. And one of the exceptions is what's called an excited utterance. Even though there's a general rule against hearsay statements, a witness who heard the statement can talk and discuss and testify about this statement if it relates to a startling event or condition, and the statement was made by the person making the statement, in this particular case, the complainant, the victim in this case, made while that person was still under the stress of the excitement that it had caused. So the court finds that it fits that exception. The objection is overruled, and the state may proceed with its questioning in this area. Go ahead.
Ms. Delaney, what time did y'all usually get to work in the morning?
About 6:45.
And was Julie at work on February the 8th, 2023?
Yes.
And when she first got there at 7, did you see her?
Yes.
And under what circumstances did you see her?
They come, all the nurses come to a certain area to see what their assignment is for the day.
Okay.
So we usually see everybody that's there, and that's kind of lets us know somebody didn't show up or whatever.
Yeah, that way you can plan out the day. Also call people if they're not there. So that morning, did Julie approach you?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of her approaching you?
She said that she would talk to me, we were only had a minute about something personal.
Okay, was that when she first got there about 7? And a few minutes later, did you actually go find Julie?
It was about well, I didn't go looking for her, I was just rounding.
Okay.
And she saw me pass a door in a room that she was cleaning, getting ready for another patient. Excuse me. And so she asked me if she could talk to me then, and I said yes.
So she was in a room. How did you get to talk to her? Did you go somewhere to an office, or what did you do?
We shut the door in the room. It's actually room, I want to say 27. And she shut the door, and we're in a patient's room, there's no patient there. And that's when she started talking.
Okay. Let's talk about her demeanor. What was when you first got there to that room? Did she appear okay, or was she upset?
I don't think she was quite upset yet. She was a little nervous about trying to talk to me. And then as she started talking, then her emotions came out.
Okay. So did y'all just leave the door open, or did you close the door?
It was closed.
And when she started talking, did you tell that there was something that was just really wrong?
Yes.
Was it something that you could see physically about her whole body, or just because you would just see saying?
When she first started talking, I just knew something was wrong, but didn't know what it was, how bad it was or anything. And so as she started talking, she showed me her.
But first, let's talk. We're going to get there, but
Okay.
let's talk about her demeanor. Was she crying?
She was not crying yet.
Okay. When did she start crying?
Once she started talking, showing me the.
Okay. When she started talking and getting into it, could you tell that it really had an effect on her?
Absolutely.
Did she appear that she was upset, or was she scared?
Scared.
So what did she tell you had happened to her that night?
She said that her husband had tried to choke her, and that she was begging him to stop. She at the same time was showing me, and I hadn't noticed it, but underneath her chin, it was completely red, and then it kind of went down to a side.
Okay, so while we're there, did my friend over here show you some photographs on this thumb drive? Do those photographs fairly accurately depict what you saw in the building? Tender states 2.
No objection. Review.
It's admitted.
Have you ever met Mr. Atari before?
Sorry.
Have you ever seen him before today? Okay, so you couldn't identify him because he never came up to the hospital?
Not that I never saw him.
Now I've labeled each one of these, except for that last image, which should have been changed. Do you mind if I change it, John?
Go ahead, yeah.
Change that to two. Hold it, John, again. We're getting ahead of me. All right. All right, so now there's one thing on here you cannot identify, is that correct? The visa? Let me just show you, because Mr. West wants it in anyway.
Oh, yeah, I had never seen that.
You've never seen this visa, it was Mr. Tarvis, okay.
That actually was this morning was the first time I saw that, so that's the first time I had any clue of what he looked like.
The 2B, is this Julie's neck?
Yes,
And can you see the redness in her neck?
yes,
Is that what you saw that morning?
yes, and I don't believe that the picture does justice. It seemed a little more redder.
Is there some redness down here
And it's
also?
around- Yes,
And over here, could you really tell anything other than the redness down here?
no,
So you're saying that then that was 2E. So let's go back to 2A or 2B. You're saying that doesn't do justice to it?
no, it seemed to be much more redder. It was shocking that she still had that from overnight. It was that deep, that part.
So she told you that he tried to kill her. How did she tell you he tried to kill her?
That he tried to choke her.
And looking at the redness around her neck, was that consistent with what she was telling you?
I'm assuming, I've never seen.
Never seen anybody choke
Yeah.
before? But would that be consistent with somebody doing something to her neck?
Something around here, yeah.
Yes, okay. So let's talk about what else she told you. She said that he strangled her,
He did.
and what else?
That's when she really started crying. And then it was like a flood of relief of being able to get things out. Words just flew.
Did she ever say what she thought his intent was because of what he was doing?
To kill her.
And did she tell you that this had happened before?
Yes, she stated several things that he had done in the past. And that he had wanted to buy a gun, and she kept trying to convince him not to, because he had said over and over that he would kill her.
Did she tell you why he was doing this?
No, I mean, I can assume.
What was he accusing her of?
Well, she said that he thought she was having an affair, that when she got out late, he thought she was having sex with someone at work.
So what would he do to her when she got home?
He would make her take her underwear off and smell it, look at it to see if she had any stains. If she had a discharge in her underwear, he would accuse her. And the thing is about ER work, you don't just get off at 7 o'clock. You know, if you're lucky, you might get off at 7:10, 7:15, but oftentimes you might be there till 7:30, 7:45 with a specific patient or documentation or something. And so I did notice once she said that she did get a little panicky at work at times when she was leaving late.
So she started looking worried when it got to be past time to go.
Right.
Can you understand why now?
Yes.
So what did you do once she got all this information out to you?
I said, Julie, we have to go to Tracy, and this needs to be reported right now.
Okay, who's Tracy?
Tracy was our manager. She's actually the assistant CNO, training to be the CNO of the hospital.
So when y'all went to Tracy, did Julie tell Tracy the same story?
Yes.
Was there anything different that she changed?
No, she didn't change the story. She added things to it.
Okay, so there was more that she didn't tell
Right.
you. Okay. But after talking to her and looking at those injuries, were you worried for her?
Absolutely.
Was it very long before the police showed up?
I have to tell you, I was in shock at how quickly they were there. You know, you always hear how, oh yeah, they'll call the police and the police will come days later and take a story. And within 30 to 40 minutes, the police were there. They took they took her and Julie and left and went and picked up her kids from school, from what I hear. I mean, she was gone. She didn't finish the rest of the day. Never came back, actually.
Did you get to work with Julie after that for a while?
Never. She never came back to the hospital.
Drop my keys. I don't know where they came from. One thing I wanted to talk to you about, you stated in your statement that there were no marks on her throat. Is that correct?
Well, when she said that he tried to choke her, I was thinking there would be a ligature.
Right.
And so there was nothing that was transverse. It was more like here.
That's what I'm getting at. You can see from the pictures, the red marks are up here on her chin and then down here on her chest, correct? The upper part of her chest. Correct?
I mean, it led down. There was
Okay.
a place where it led down.
Okay. And we see that kind of right there on the
Yes.
picture. Okay. All right. But again, the pictures show in your statement stated there was none around her actual throat, correct? Marks at least.
Nothing completely transparent.
Thank you. That's
I have nothing further, Jeff.
Can this lady be excused?
Please, Jeff.
You are excused. Excuse, ma'am. Thank you.
But my next one's the detective. It's gonna take a little while. We can break the line. I think it'd be better.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, can all of you return back at 1 o'clock? Let's break for lunch. Can we be back at 1 o'clock? Please remember the instructions the court gives you. You go to eat with one of the, or 2, 3, 4 of the other girls. Thank you very much. And everyone else remains seated while the jury exits. Thank you.
What started as a dispute over a residential well installation quickly turned into a courtroom lesson on how difficult it can be to represent yourself in court. The homeowner believed serious mistakes were made during the drilling and installation of his water well. During the hearing, he questioned the contractor about everything from muddy PVC pipe connections to grout placement and pumping procedures. He argued that certain materials may not have been properly cleaned and that some of the installation methods raised concerns about the quality of the work. To support his claims, he even brought photographs and attempted to use physical examples to explain what he believed went wrong. As the questioning continued, however, the judge repeatedly stepped in. The problem wasn't necessarily the questions themselves, it was the way they were being asked. Time after time, the homeowner would include his own opinions, conclusions, and theories inside the question. Instead of simply asking the witness for facts, he would explain what he believed happened and then ask the witness to agree with him. The judge finally stopped the examination and explained the issue. According to the court, witnesses are supposed to provide testimony. The person asking the questions is not allowed to sneak their own testimony into those questions. The judge carefully explained that a question must be a question, not an argument. If the homeowner wanted to testify about what he believed happened, he would have an opportunity to do that later under oath. But while questioning a witness, he needed to let the witness provide the answers. The hearing became a perfect example of the challenges faced by self-represented litigants. The homeowner clearly knew every detail of the project and had strong opinions about the work that had been performed. But knowing the facts and presenting them under courtroom rules are two very different things. The judge repeatedly tried to help by explaining the proper procedure while still allowing the homeowner to continue his examination. Meanwhile, the contractor maintained that the well had been installed properly. He testified